Hello, members of the Honkie Football League. Those of you that have not paid your dues, I will find you. I'm a very hairy man, and I will hunt you down and make you pay up. What? Are you
Hey boys, welcome back. Week 11 is in the books for the Honkie Football League, and we're in Byron Center, Michigan for this edition of the recap. This week, as always, we'll go over the matchups, give out our much-deserved awards to two unlucky SOBs, go over my pick'em results for Week 11, and lay down the predictions for Week 12. We'll also go over the standings and update on the odds for everyone in the HFL playoffs. With only 2 more weeks remaining before our grueling postseason begins, let's get into the head-to-head portion of the recap. First up, Joykinoff versus 50 Shades of Gold. This matchup featured every relevant Chicago Bears player to fantasy football. 3 on Joykinoff and 3 on 50 Shades of Gold. All scored in double digits except for Shady's tight end Martellus Bennett and their kicker Robbie Gould, and team namesake as well. Shady's had a disappointing week at running back with only 5.8 combined points from that position, partly due to the fact that Ahmad Bradshaw broke his foot this week, which sucks. Alshon Jeffrey was the high mark for his team this week with 19.5 points. That's pretty good, though. It wasn't enough to take down the defending champions with 53.80 combined points from their Bears, plus another tight end leading week from Rob Get the Hell Out the Club Gronkowski with his 13.1 points. It was an easy week for the number 2 team in the league. Strangely enough, the top 4 scorers in this matchup were Bears. The next 2, Patriots. Neat. Final score here, 113.2 for Joykinoff to 50 Shades of Gold, 58.98. Next up, we have Hot Graham versus the GOAT. Each team in this matchup had 3 players hit double digits, but Hot Graham had the advantage there by 8 points. The GOAT saw that and said, no worries, I have a cool 17th in the Arizona Cardinals. But by Sunday night, the GOAT only had a .42 point lead, with only terrible Trent Richardson to go. And he had to play him, as the GOAT knows, because he was fortuitous in a stat correction that kind of took a touch or a championship from the Don. It probably still got it hurt, doesn't it, Don? I bet it does. I bet it really sucks. You lost by a stat correction. That's terrible. Anyway, despite being awful, Trent Richardson managed to get 2.1 points and completed the GOAT's upset of Hot Graham. It hurts being this good at predicting. Final score here, Hot Graham was 74.86, falling to the nearly last place GOAT with his 77.38. Our next matchup is Coon of the Cobb versus Forrest Butt. After a tightly contested Sunday, Forrest Butt only needed 11.82 points from the Steelers' defense to pull off the win this week against the number 3 team in the league. And when Zach Metzenberger's first pass was a pick 6, it was looking like a done deal for him. Problem was, Metzenberger tearing up the Steelers' terrible defense for the rest of the game, and they only finished with 8 points. The Steelers did get the win, unfortunately, but Forsyth fell hard. Not even Mike Evans can save that dumpster fire of a team now. End score here, 87.64 for Coon of the Cobb to 83.82 for Forsyth Butt. Next, we have Tinker Stinkers versus Mother Tuckers. Mother Tuckers had a huge day from Jamie Charles with his 27.8 and a nice 16.2 from Emmanuel Sanders before he was hit by a train on Sunday on the field. But Tinker Stinkers had huge games from Eddie Lacy, Jordy Nelson, AJ Green, and Andrew Donkey Luck. Despite the lopsided scoring on Sunday, Mother Tuckers only needed 40 points from Antonio Brown and Big Ben Rape on Monday to pull off the win. That's not unheard of at all from possibly the league's most consistent wide receiver and his football-tossing friend. Problem is, Le'Veon Bell was on the other side of the ball, or I should say the matchup this week. Bell had such a good game, his teammates would have both needed to tie their best scores of the season, and yes, that includes Ben's Week 8 performance, and they still only would have beaten Tinker Stinkers by less than 6 points. Tinker Stinkers takes another win here, and is now on a 3-game win streak and has officially entered the playoff picture. Final score, with the highest score in the league this week, 131.82 for Tinker Stinkers to Tuckers, 93.78. In our last bout, we have Taco versus the Don Goodell. Taco did what he could this week, but starting Darren McFadden is always a great way to lose a matchup. And lose they did. Another couple minor mistakes were picking up Heath Miller and not starting him, and leaving his team-leading scorer this week on the bench, Michael Crabtree. Behind a matchup leading performance for Alfred Yorma Boy Blue and his 15.6, the Don had all that he needed to put Taco away this week and get back on the winning tracks. Final score 75.9 for his Taco-ness, and the Don with 100.32. That does it for the head-to-head portion of the show. But let's keep this party bus moving and head on to the awards. First up, we got Biggest Loser. 3 straight and 4 of the last 5 weeks, scoring below 60 points. 50 Shades of Gold has earned this award for the second straight week. Only one other team has done that this season. The GOAT was the other. Fittingly, they're both at the bottom of the standings. Biggest Loser tends to be the person who lost by the most, but like last week when he was statistically limited from playoff contention, this week with such bad scores, lately Shady has earned the award, this award again on 2 levels. Good news though, Cheech, the toilet bowl is still there. So that's pretty good news for you. In the words of the late great Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. Order Biggest Loser now and get 2 for the price of 1. For the first time ever, we have 2 Biggest Losers. After falling from the playoff picture, Taco takes the second Biggest Loser award this week. Not only did he lose, but now his only shot to overtake anyone currently in the playoffs is to either outscore and match wins with Tinker Stinkers or overtake someone and wins. Rough week, Chuckles. Rough loss. Congrats 50 Shades of Gold and Taco, you're both the Biggest Loser. Share it. You guys play nice. Next up, Bench Boo Boo. Good old Bench Boo Boo. Like the last time this team won the award, there were several players on the bench that they could have been plugged in to gotten them the W. Take your pick, Hot Graham. Here we go. Trey Mason, Bishop Sankey, or Ruben Randall. Any of these guys, any of them subbed in for the worst best receiver, Harry Larry Fitzgerald, Jarek McKinnon, or Terrible West, would have gotten you the win. In fact, had you played your cards right, you'd still be in first place. But you didn't, and you aren't. So enjoy your Bench Boo Boo award, Hot Graham, and may many more bless you this season to come. Let's see. That's all she wrote for the awards. Let's go into Week 11 Pick'em results. If it weren't for Mother Tucker's blowing it this week, I probably would have gotten my perfect score. But nonetheless, I ended up 4-1, and that brings me to 26-14 on the season, or a 650 batting average. I don't care who you are. If you bat 650, you're going to the Hall of Fame. Problem is, no one cares. So let's go on to something people do care about. Let's look at the standings. Look at that number 1 spot. Doesn't that look good? Defending champ sitting there just makes sense. It feels good. It feels like welcome and everything. It's nice. Feels good. Hot Graham took a tumble this week to number 2, and Coon the Cobb is in 3rd. The top 3 teams are all now locks to make the playoffs, which leaves 3 spots left in the playoffs for the remaining 5 teams that have a shot to get in. Yes, I know. That's only 8 teams in total, but that's because another team has been statistically eliminated. Looking at you, forcing their butt. Here is the playoff prediction. Here's the playoff odds predictor. At the very bottom, you'll see forcing your butt. Look at that, 0%. It sucks. No more chance of making the playoffs. While the GOAT, with his upset win this week, keeps his razor-thin hopes of a playoff alive. 9 wins gets you locked in the playoffs, everyone, so aim for that. Anything less, and you're on the tiebreaker bubble. Speaking of being on the bubble, Taco, with his loss this week, took a significant tumble, which is why he got our second Biggest Loser award. Look how small that possibility to join the playoffs is now, Chuck. That's gotta stink. Battle for the first round bye still rages on between the spots 1 through 3, though. Everyone else is out on those. Let's see. Week 12 preview. Here we go. Week 12 is on the horizon. We actually already had 1 game down, but that's all right. And that means only 2 more regular season weeks remain to make your case. Get your wins and rack up the points to bolster your standing position. Here's what I see happening in my Week 12 pick'em. Coon and the Cobb will beat Hot Graham to get revenge for the embarrassing showing in Week 3. Tinker Stinkers will take Forcing Their Butt down, because Forcing Their Butt is terrible. Taco will devour Mother Tuckers. Django Unchained will get... I'm sorry, did I say Django? I'm sorry, that's Josh Unchained. We'll get Josh Gordon back this week off his suspension and take down the GOAT to split the season series. And the Don will take his bye-week victory over 50 Shades of Gold. That does it for the edition of the recap here. Everyone, you know the deal. Set your lineups, get wins. See you guys all in Week 12. And from Byron Center, Michigan, I'm Mark Wasinski for the HLFL Network. Saying bad luck to all of you.
right. Like a vanilla must no future. Come on, alive, baby.